Good afternoon, Ananya. I request all dignitaries, please occupy the chairs. Today we all are gathered here for the most awaiting program which is organized for all third-year students, that is pre-placement talk of Wipro WILP-23. I welcome Chairperson of the program, our source of inspiration, Honorable Dr. Patil sir, Chief Guest of this program, Senior Executive HR of Wipro, Ms. Ananya, Kukreja ma'am, Principal of our college, Honorable Dr. Zulpe sir, Vice Principal, Bhosle sir, dear Somwanshi sir, Training and Placement Officer, Mr. Kailas Jadhav sir, all my colleagues and dear friends. We begin this program by welcoming of the guests. First of all, I request Training and Placement Officer, Mr. Kailas Jadhav sir, please welcome the Chairperson of this program, Honorable Dr. Patil sir, by offering bouquet. I request. Thank you. Now I request Chairperson of the program, Honorable Dr. Patil sir, please welcome the HR of Wipro, Ms. Ananya Kukreja ma'am, by offering shawl, slipper and bouquet. I request Honorable Dr. Patil sir, please welcome the guest, Kukreja ma'am. Thank you. Now I request Mr. sir, please welcome our Principal, Dr. Zulpe sir, by offering bouquet. Honorable Dr. Zulpe sir. Thank you. I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais, remaining all dignitaries by auspicious words. And now I request our Training and Placement Officer, Mr. Kailas Jadhav sir, please introduce the program, give the introduction of the program. Mr. Kailas Jadhav sir.
Honorable Chairperson of today's pre-placement talk, our source of inspiration, Dr. Patil sir, HR from Wipro, Ananya ma'am, Vice Principal, Dr. Bhosle sir, Principal sir, Dr. Zulpe sir, Vice Principal, Mr. Somwanshi sir, all the students present over here. I first of all welcome Ananya ma'am to this pre-placement talk arranged by Wipro. At the outset, I would like to put the record of our college that what we are doing at our college for the final year students. We have dedicated training and placement cell through which we impart trending technology related trainings, especially Java. Even Wipro is also helping us in this regard. We have Wipro certified faculty in our college, and through Wipro Talent Nest project-based learning program, we arrange 2 months training program for the final year students. So that is again on Java. Second, we are also having future skill program, Wipro future skill program. This year our student enrolled for Wipro's future skill program, and most of the students are taking this future skill program, in which we have cloud computing, cyber security, RPA, robotic process automation, and some other trending technologies are there, on which students are preparing. So far as last year placement is considered, last year 375 students placed in different IT companies, and the major recruiter was Wipro. In alone Wipro, 200 students got placed. So this is again good thing for us. Wipro being our biggest recruiter. Wipro is our biggest recruiter. So we are also having some other companies. They also have their campus and off-campus drives, as I already talked with Ananya ma'am. So let me again tell something about Ananya ma'am. Ananya Kukreja ma'am, she is currently a part of campus recruitment team of Wipro. She has completed her MBA from Symbiosis College, and she is specially working on this WILP program, Wipro what integrated learning program, and she is looking after the campus hiring and university relation. So with this, I once again welcome ma'am and welcome to this particular placement, pre-placement talk, and I put my words to an end. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request Honorable Chairperson of this program, Dr. M.R. Patil, sir, please address us on this occasion.
Respected principal, vice principals, training and placement officer, my colleagues and dear friends, students. This is a nice occasion, long awaited occasion that the madam who is here, Kukreja from Wipro, who happens to be senior manager, senior executive of HR department of Wipro. She is going to do a pre-placement talk to us. She will introduce Wipro and other opportunities in Wipro company, private limited. Let me put it in a nutshell. In short, I shall make it simple. We college focus on two to three things. One, most of you belong to families which are having poor financial background. For example, the students who happen to be the wards of small businessmen, farmers who hold small lands, and people who work casually as laborers. These people are caught in poverty trap, employment trap, because the employment is not there for all 365 days. Many times bad breaks are there, bad patches are there. For example, the last break we found was that of Corona. We experienced it for 2 years. Lockdown was there, and almost all businesses, labor and small business like so many things were closed, and they had no source of income and they had to collapse. That has disastrous consequences. In order to overcome these consequences, poverty trap, employment trap, we design our courses so as to make students job ready, like designing the course in such a way that when the students after completion of the degree pass out, they have knowledge, skill and aptitude for the corporate sector employment, wage sector we call it. Their assured income is there. You must have noticed last time that when during the course of Corona, COVID-19, only 2 businesses were less interrupted. IT people, they work from home, and farming continued to be there. But there was no market for the farmers' produce. So this is what we wanted to have, and Kukreja madam as a first stage of placement drive, she is here. She will deliver her talk to you. She will introduce Wipro. I welcome her, and I may conclude my speech here only. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, I request Senior Executive of Wipro HR, Ananya ma'am, please give the pre-placement talk to our students. Ananya Kukreja ma'am, Senior Executive, Human Resource, Wipro HR.
Thank you so much. I'll just connect my laptop. having me here, and I think everyone's taken some steps to introduce me, so I don't really want to get into my introduction. But what I really want to focus here is one, to thank your college and your honorable chairperson, principal sir, HOD ma'am, your talent and placement officer sir. So everyone's been very, very cooperative in making sure that this event happens, and happens in person, in physical capacity, right? So firstly, before we begin the event, I know that post-lunch sessions are particularly very difficult because you just had lunch, you become a little lazy, I know. So just bear with me for a few minutes. I assure you that you will go with few key takeaways after this session. You will, I cannot say if this is going to really help you make a decision about your career, but what I can really assure you after the end of the session is that you will have some awareness of, okay, this is also an option, and this is an option that you may or may not consider depending upon your career opportunities. But let's go with the agenda of creating awareness through this session. So are you all with me now? Yeah. Great, great. So before we begin with the session, I want all of you to give a big round of applause for your college. And a bigger round of applause for your placement cell. And an even bigger round of applause for yourself. Okay, I'll tell you why I asked you to do all this. Patil sir was here and he was telling you that, we all come from various different backgrounds, right? Everyone here is from a very different background. But what I want you to understand today is that you're all very, very fortunate to be a part of this educational institution. And I'll tell you why. Because there are so many colleges out there. You see colleges within your city, you see colleges in your neighboring city, you see colleges in smaller towns, you see colleges all across. And you realize that not every college is headed by leadership or is, that is so progressive, right? So your college comes with a leadership which is so progressive. You have a very able placement cell headed by a very able TPO who is taking care of giving you the right career guidance. Your faculty members, even though they might not take care of placements, they are ensuring that you get the right kind of opportunities, you get the right kind of awareness, which is very, very important at this stage. Not all students are as lucky as you are, and that's the reason why you should be very, very proud of the fact that you're a part of this college. And the college is doing so much in making sure that you get exposed to the right opportunities and you get that kind of exposure, right? So I'm sure you're all very proud of your college, right? Yeah. Great. So alright, so on this note, I think we'll begin to start. I think we're good to start with our presentation. We'll just move to the slides.
इधर का डिस्प्ले कीबोर्ड माउस क्लिक करेंगे चवन लागे उस पे क्लिक करने से नेक्स्ट में
Alright. Okay, so before we begin the session, I want to know how many of you are aware of Wipro. You've heard Wipro as a company, you've heard about Wipro as a company. Raise of hands. Alright, so I think everyone here has at least heard of Wipro. Alright. Now, raise of hands by people who know something about Wipro and will be okay to share. What do they know about Wipro? Anything that you would have heard about Wipro? Maybe in news, maybe through your seniors. We hire a lot of students every year from your college. So anything that you know about Wipro, raise your hands. No group answers, no group answers. So I want people to raise their hands and then give me an answer. And guys, please don't be shy. Let's make this very interactive. I'm not your faculty member. I'm not going to be judging you or marking you. So let's make this interactive. Alright, are you aware where all do we have presence in? Which are those office locations that we have? Okay, then raise of hands. I know you guys know, so don't be shy. Raise your hand. Who knows where all we have offices? Alright, yes. What's your name?
Ashish Deshpande.
Okay, yes Ashish.
Wipro office is in Pune, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad,
Yeah.
Noida, Delhi.
See, Ashish has done his homework, he's aware. So Ashish, did you speak to a senior or did you Google about Wipro?
I just Google.
That's good, that's good. Alright, so this does not mean that the smart people back there now start Googling about Wipro. Alright, okay, so anyone else? कुछ भी आपको पता हो विप्रो के बारे में, आपने कभी न्यूज़ में पढ़ा हो या कभी किसी से सीनियर्स, आपके कॉलेज सीनियर्स से आपने कभी बात की हो? Raise your hands. Okay, so we'll move forward. That's the reason why I'm here. The reason is to help you understand about not just this hybrid program, which is work integrated learning program, but also about the company. Yeah. So Wipro is a home-based IT company. When I say it's a home-based IT company, what does that mean? It's an Indian IT firm, and while of course we're an Indian IT firm, Wipro is one well-known brand not just in India but also globally. It's one of the top most IT companies out there in the market. And we come with a very, very long legacy, very rich legacy. We've completed 75 years in business. And a very interesting fact about Wipro is that while the whole world today knows us as an IT company, we did not start off as an IT company. We started off as a cooking oil manufacturing company. And if you happen to see these smart bulbs now, they have correct. So I can see a girl nodding her head. So yes, if you see some smart bulbs out there, you'll see Wipro written on it. So that's one of our products. So after the cooking oil manufacturing, we moved into consumer durables and consumer goods. One very famous soap brand called Santoor. Have you heard about Santoor? Yeah. That's also a Wipro product. So after that, we entered into research and development. And what I'm trying to really tell you is that over 75 years, we've moved across domains. And whatever domains that we've entered, be it consumer goods, be it research and development, be it BPO business, or now IT, the organization has only excelled and has made a very big name for itself. So that's how ambitious the organization is, and that's how bold the organization is. I think we as a company, we were very steadfast in understanding what are the needs in the market and then leveraging those needs and making sure that we can enter and excel in those domains. So just some hard statistics about the organization. This is the revenue that the organization made in the first quarter of last financial year. The revenue that you can see, $2.74 billion. This is revenue of just 3 months. Okay? And if we were to talk about the overall revenue of the entire year, then the organization clocked $10.4 billion last financial year. So this is the scale at which we function. This is the scale at which you as employees, future employees in the organization will be a part of. Okay? We are a very, very big company, and our employees are over 250,000 employees. So you can understand how huge the organization is. And these employees are spread across regions. So they're not just limited to India, but they are spread across 66 different countries. That's how diverse the organization is. That's how different cultures the organization represents. If we talk about our current clients, we are serving some 1,433 clients currently. And a very interesting part about this clientele is that 98% of the business that we do is repeat business. Anyone here in the audience knows what repeat business is? Can you understand what it means by the name repeat business? Anyone? Alright, so repeat business basically means that the clients that we've worked with in the past are clients who come back to the organization and they want to work again with the organization. And 98% of the clients that we deal with are actually repeat clients for us. So what does this say about the company? I think in my view, it says that a company that values its clients is a company which will value all its stakeholders. So I think we take a lot of pride in ensuring that we don't run behind a lot of new clients, but it is very important to maintain relationships which are very, very important for us. Also, our employees, while they are placed in 66 different countries, so that's where our presence is. We have offices in 66 different countries of the world, but these employees, these 250,000 plus employees, they come with 137 different nationalities. So we have representation of 137 countries in our company currently. So what is the vision of the organization? Every institution has a vision. आपके college का भी एक vision होगा, एक mission होगा, right? Every educational institution has a vision. We have a vision, and our vision is very, very simple. Our vision is to become a trusted partner. So when I say a trusted partner, it is not just limited to our clients, but all our stakeholders, be it our employees, be it our vendors, be it government parties that we are dealing with. We want to be a trusted partner for all our stakeholders. That's number one. Number two, to orchestrate value. I think we are no more a company that wants to run behind projects which don't add value to the larger scheme of things. We will only take up things that are going to add value and something that our employees would also be able to contribute to when it comes to addition of value. Similarly, we are one company that stands very resolute when it comes to commitment. So 100% commitment. On whatever we take, we have to make sure that we can give our 100% commitment. And if we feel as a company that there is some project, some client that we take up wherein we will not be able to give our 100%, we don't go ahead with that. And that's the expectation that we have from you all also. When you join the organization, you should be willing to take up only projects, do only things that you think that you'll be able to give your 100% on, right? So this is the spirit of Wipro. This slide talks a lot about our culture. And while this might sound like very juvenile, very school-like, ye kya hai, what are these 5 habits, why I'm a graduate, why am I to read all this? But this is something which is very close to every Wiproite's heart, okay? These are value systems that our company is based on, and 75 years we've functioned on these ethics, okay? And let me be very honest, every person that you will interact with from Wipro now, going forward, right, from your test stage or your interview stage, will somehow or the other be testing you on these value systems. So that's how important these value systems are for us. And every employee that is to join the organization, we try that they are a good fit for us when it comes to these value systems. So what are these? Being passionate about our clients, okay? Treating each person with respect. So it does not matter if you are an entry-level employee in the organization or your manager is very senior to you. Every person in the organization is treated with equal amount of respect. Similarly, being global and responsible. You saw, right? We had 250,000 plus employees. They were coming from 137 different nationalities. We have offices in 66 different countries. So what is the relevance of all this? The relevance is that we want people who can be very global in their approach, okay? You might not be very global right now, that's okay. But you should have the sensitivity to be global and being responsible. So there will be chances that, your team members, maybe people working under you, they come from different countries, they come from different nationalities. You should be responsible and sensitive towards dealing with them. Your manager might be someone who's sitting, say, in US, you're sitting here in India, but that does not mean that work will stand still or work will not happen. You should be able to relate with them. Similarly, unyielding integrity. I think I've already mentioned this. Integrity is something which is very, very close to us, close to our heart. 100% integrity in whatever you do. Similarly, these are 5 habits that we run with on a day-to-day basis. Being respectful, trusting each other. We've built an ecosystem in the organization where we are able to trust everyone, right? So my manager, my supervisor trusts that I am in your college today doing this pre-placement talk, right? I'm not roaming around the city. So jokes apart, this is the trust that we've tried to build. Everyone's working from home today, right? Most employees are working from home. So we want to make sure that you're able to trust your subordinates, you're able to trust your teammates, you're able to trust your seniors in the organization. When we talk about the culture, I think the culture that we have built, it's very young, it's very fresh, it's very, very vibrant. The average workforce age in the company is 28 years. So that's how young the company is when it comes to the workforce. Similarly, we have stopped these age-old practices of doing biometrics or punch in and punch out to capture attendance of our employees. We don't do that. That's where the trust factor comes. So you can come with the company. We believe that when you're saying you're working, you are actually working. So we don't want to be sitting on your head and capturing every move of you when you're in the company. You can wear whatever you feel like. You can wear your casuals, you can wear your jeans, you can wear your t-shirts to the company, as long as, of course, it's within decent limits. So you can do that. So that's the culture that we've tried to build over the past 75 years. We want people who actually look forward to coming to the company, who want to come to office every day, and it's not a very formal setup that we've tried to build. Yeah. All right, inclusion and diversity, very, very important for us as a company. And I think every Wiproite does his or her bit when it comes to inclusion and diversity. We've made sure that our employees, that our workforce is a representation of all kinds of people coming from, say, different countries, different nationalities, different educational backgrounds, different socio-economic backgrounds. People, young moms who had to take a break and now want to come back to the workforce. People with physical disabilities, people who are differently abled, veterans, military veterans who want to start their career after military service, and also people with different sexualities. So this is something which is very, very important for us, and we've done a lot of work. And these are some recognitions that we've received for doing some work in these aspects on a very regular basis. Similarly, corporate social responsibility, that is giving back to the society, that is something that we really, really identify with. How many of you have heard Mr. Azim Premji's name? Okay, fairly, few of you. So Mr. Azim Premji is our founder. He is not just a very, very big and well-known name in the IT industry. He's also a very big name in the philanthropy aspect and the philanthropy world. So that is the social responsibility that he does. And Mr. Azim Premji started this foundation, which is the biggest, one of the biggest non-profit organizations, not just in India, but also worldwide. So that's what we believe in. During the pandemic, it was really, really bad, right? People were not getting even basic health amenities and facilities during that time. People were running from pillar to post to just get basic health amenities. That's when we converted our Pune office. So our offices, they are very, very huge office spaces, okay? We call them development centers. And we converted our Pune office into a COVID care facility. And we gave that to Maharashtra government, okay? And the idea was that whoever is in need of basic medical aid during peak pandemic, they could come to our Pune office, and we had round-the-clock doctors and medical facilities available for such people. So we want to believe that, of course, client success, profits are all important. But there's a larger idea also here, and companies which are as huge as us, I think it becomes even more important for us to give back to the society. So if this is something that you are also into, I know बहुत सारे students आजकल NGO work करते हैं, they like doing this because that's how the generation is. You want to do something for the society, you want to do something for education sector. So this is something that attracts you. I think you can all be a part of our CSR wing and you can give back to the society. Similarly, a lot of recognitions, accolades that we've got in this particular field. Alright, so this is the main reason why I'm here. This is the reason why you're sitting here, and so I'm not going to, this is what I wanted to share about the company, but now let's talk about the real deal here, alright? And I want this session to be very interactive. Unless आप लोग मेरे से बात नहीं करोगे, तब तक my reason of here, it will not get fulfilled. तो आपको अब contribute करना है, and you can be as honest with me as possible. The idea is that by the end of this session, you should have some clarity about options, right? And that's about it. So be honest. You don't have to take a decision today. It's not going to impact your career in the next 4-5 days. You have a lot of time to think. But you have to be honest with yourself and with me here. So is everyone with me here? Are you going to be honest? Yes. So if I ask certain questions, are you going to contribute? Yes. Alright, great. So my question to the audience is, how many of you are very, very certain of the fact that once you graduate, you will pick up a job? मतलब जैसे ही graduation खत्म होगी, आपको एक job start करनी है. How many of you are certain of that? Raise your hands. Alright, I see 90% people with this approach. Okay, great. How many of you, on the other hand, are very sure of the fact that once you do your graduation, you want to right away do your post-graduation, that is your master's degree, and then after your master's you want to pick up a job. मतलब एक ही बारी में मैं सारी पढ़ाई खत्म कर दूंगा या कर दूंगी और उसके बाद मैं job start करूंगी. So how many of you are of that school of thought? That you want to do your master's first? No one? So then what about the others? Like, what? Alright, okay. So now for the others who didn't raise their hand and option 1, there's a third category. And I was in this category when I was doing my graduation 7-8 years back. That's called the confused category. Okay, so you don't really know what is that you want to do after your graduation. So meaning, you're not sure if you want to start working right away or you want to do a master's first and then take up a better paying job or a better role or something like that. So, and what really happens in this category is that every day you're having discussions at home. आपके parents आपको कुछ बोल रहे हैं, आपके elder siblings आपको कुछ बता रहे हैं कि नहीं job करना चाहिए, नहीं पहले एक ही बारी में पढ़ाई खत्म कर लो. Your friends with their limited knowledge are giving you their yarn. So everyone is kind of giving you their input. So how many of you are in that confused category? I was in that category. I just see 2 honest people and I don't believe this. I'm very sure there are more people, right? And rightly so. Why should you not be confused? I was so confused that I took a year gap after my graduation, okay? And I took that year off to really decide what is it I want to do. Of course, I have very supportive parents and friends and siblings, but my point here is that if you're confused at this stage, I think it's absolutely fine and it's very important, because being confused really means that you've actually thought through all things, all aspects, and when you've done that thinking, whatever decision that you take, that's going to be a very well thought out decision. After that 1 year gap, I was very sure what is that I want to do in masters, from which college, what is the field in masters I want to do. So that kind of clarity I got after doing a lot of thinking. So what I'm trying to really say here is that if you're also confused at this point, it's absolutely fine. A lot of students at this age are bound to be confused, and it's normal. So let's go to both categories, option A, option B and option C. Option A, कौन सा option है? कि job करना है right away. Alright? So we'll talk about the pros and then we'll talk about the flip side of option A. And you can go through this and you can also add. If you agree, you don't agree, you want to add to more. So what is the biggest advantage of working right after your graduation? You get a head start to your career. What is the average age of this audience? 21? 21? So by the time you complete your graduation, few of you maybe still 21, a few of you maybe 22, not more than 22 I assume, right? So that's how young you will be when you start your job. Your first job, you'll just be 22. That's the head start. वो early start जो बोलते हैं ना, which is very important for your career, that is the early start that you will give to your career. So by the time you're 24, 25 and you want to do your masters, you already have 3 solid years of work experience in the industry. And trust me, work experience matters a lot, right? Master's degree also matters a lot, but work experience also matters equally, okay? So that's the early start that you give to your career if you start working early. Second advantage. I'm sure 99% of you here might still be financially dependent on your families, right? When I was at this age, so I'm sure. So if you start working at 22, that dependence on family for your finances gets weeded out, right? You become financially independent. And being financially independent at 22 is a big deal, right? So that's a very, very big advantage. That you'll be able to sustain yourself financially if you start working early, right? But what's the flip side? How many of you think that after graduation, the first job that you get will tick mark all your boxes? Meaning, पे भी बहुत अच्छी होगी, रोल भी बहुत अच्छा होगा, कंपनी भी बहुत अच्छी होगी, ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी बहुत होंगे. How many of you think that will happen? Not many, and that's true. The first job that you get after your graduation, because the market is such, they want more skilled people, they want people who've done masters, is such that while of course you may get opportunities after your graduation, but those opportunities might not tick mark all your boxes. Sooner or later, and it's a fact if you Google, people who take up jobs after graduation, within 2 years of picking up their job, they quit. For whatever reasons. They might want to go to another company because of a better pay package or a better role, or they might want to do a master's to support better career aspirations. So the chances of you getting your ideal job after your graduation, right after your graduation, are very, very bleak. Alright? And I'm just being honest. I'm not discouraging you, I'm just being honest. Okay, I can see people smiling, but that's the hard fact, right? That's the hard fact. And what's the other flip side? Again, growth. After a point, you become stagnant in the market. The market demands people who are upskilled. The market demands people who come with a master's degree, who are more skilled and can enter into management roles or can lead teams, right? So that's the need of the market. So that's the flip side of working early. Now, to people who are contemplating option B, that you want to do your masters and be in a position जहाँ आप demand कर सकते हो कि मुझे ये job चाहिए, क्योंकि of course you're a graduate now, you have also done your masters, you're in a better position to demand better paying jobs, better roles and better companies. So what is the advantage of doing your masters right after your graduation? You will give your career the right foundation, right? Now you've set that base for your career, you have upskilled yourself, so you've set that foundation for yourself. Similarly, you will also pave the way for a fast growing career. I think people who do their masters, they already start at a better position in organizations, so the growth of your career is faster as compared to someone who starts at entry level jobs after graduation, right? But what is the flip side? It's a huge investment. Huge investment, right? And few of us might be fortunate that their families or their parents might be able to sponsor. Few of us might have to go to banks asking for loans, and whatever said and done, be it your parents sponsoring it or you going to banks taking up a higher education loan, the investment is huge, right? And not everyone can cater for that kind of investment, and that's the reason why some people start working after graduation. They save up and then they do their masters, right? So that's one big factor that you should really consider when you want to do a masters. Second is, how sure are you that the market scenario at that time is good enough? Like COVID happened, there were no jobs, there were not many jobs in the market in all sectors, right? So the guarantee of you getting a good job right after your masters is also questionable, right? And let me be very honest, if you take higher education loans from banks, the loan repayment cycle starts right after your degree gets over. Am I right, sir? They will not wait for you to pick up a job to start repaying that loan. It starts the moment your degree gets over. So, what I'm trying to really tell is that every option here has pros and some flips to it which you have to really consider. And I'm sure all of you are very smart. This generation of students, they're very smart. They would have considered all these options. But is there anyone else in the audience who wants to add to these points? कि ऐसा कुछ है जो हमने मिस कर दिया या आपको लगता है कि नहीं इसका कुछ और एंगल हो सकता है? Anyone else who wants to add to this, or you agree to this? Anyone who disagrees, you think, no, this doesn't make sense, what is this? So do you agree, yes or no? Yes. Do you have something to add to here? No. Alright. And then this is for my friends who are in option C. So in 1995, Wipro realized that there is a gap in the market wherein there is no company out there which is giving students the opportunity to start working and at the same time also pursue a master's degree or a higher education degree. No company. So in 95 there was no company. Companies only gave job opportunities to young graduates, but there was no company which was taking care of their higher education aspirations. And that's when Wipro entered the market with this particular program called Work Integrated Learning Program. We've been running this program since the past 27 years. And we have had 40,000 students who've benefited from Wipro's Work Integrated Learning Program so far. So in 27 years, 40,000 students have graduated from Wipro's WILP Academy. A lot of them still associated with the organization, now in different parts of the world at different positions within the organization. Few of them have moved out of the organization and are pursuing other career opportunities. But this is the program. So what is the program? The program is that you will start working. We give you an employment opportunity with Wipro. But at the same time, the organization is also sponsoring your higher education. And your higher education is going to be your MTech degree. And from an institute called BITS Pilani. So not sure how many of you have heard about BITS Pilani, but for those of you who've not, BITS Pilani happens to be one of the top most technology institutes in the country. Its ranking is almost as at par with all old IITs. That's how prestigious, that's how renowned the technology school is. People who apply to BITS Pilani, of the lakhs of students who apply to BITS Pilani, only 1% of students clear that examination. So that's how tough it is to crack BITS Pilani exam, that's how tough it is to get into BITS Pilani. And you can only imagine that someone who gets a degree, a tech degree from BITS Pilani, what the weightage of the degree is going to be, right? It is also one of the only 5 institutes in the country which has been given the status of eminence by the government of India. So that's the kind of status and stature the institute has, and that's where we will sponsor your MTech degree from. So you don't have to write the exam. You as Wipro employees get this direct opportunity to pursue a fully sponsored MTech from BITS Pilani. And when I say fully sponsored, it means end-to-end sponsorship. So you don't have to pay a penny out of your pocket to be it your examination fee, be it your post-curriculum fee, or whatever expenditure that you incur in terms of getting books, reading material, whatever. All of that is going to be borne fully by Wipro, right? And this is the dual benefit that you get out of this particular program. So talking more about the advantage, of course, you give that early head start that we were talking, right? What is the advantage of starting to work early? So that early head start you give to your career. At the same time, you're also upskilling yourself by means of doing a master's, and that too from such a renowned institute. So what are you doing? You're laying that right foundation for your career. That is that fast growing career path that you are making for yourself. So how does this work? You'll probably have a lot of questions that how is that I will manage both things, right? How can I be working at the same time doing a master's? So you work Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday you work as employees. No differentiation in the kind of work that you're doing in the company. तो जो रेगुलर एम्प्लॉइज काम कर रहे हैं कंपनी में, जैसे प्रोजेक्ट्स पे वो डील कर रहे हैं, जो क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, the same work you will also get to do. And your MTech classes will happen in the form of online mode over weekends. So not every weekend, alright? Alternate weekends, on Saturdays you'll have these classes. And that's how you manage. And that's how people have been managing over the past 27 years. You have 40,000 stories to take inspiration from, right? If those 40,000 students could do that, I'm pretty sure you all can do that too, right? The duration when you have your exams, we give you paid leave. So it's not that during exams also you have to keep working. So you get paid leave, and your exams are also going to be in online mode, right? So since we've been running this program since the past 25 years, we have a very clear agenda of what will happen to your career in the next 7 to 8 years. So we have a very clear vision. We are very clear on what happens to the employee when you join, what happens to you once you complete your MTech, what is the role revision that will happen, what is the designation change that will happen, what is the compensation change that will happen once you complete your MTech. And we'll talk about that in later stages. So this is how WILP works. Once you clear the hiring process, that is after this you have an online test. Those of you who clear the online test, you will sit through the interview process. You clear the interview, you get offered by Wipro. Now what happens to you after you get offered by Wipro? So this is the pre-joining program. This is before you join the company. So abhi aap apne final year mein hi hoge. During your last semester, we will give you certain trainings that you can do in your own time. So self-paced learning, okay? And these trainings will be very basic trainings. So we don't expect you to devote a lot of time. हमें पता है आप अपने final year में हो, बहुत exams भी होंगे, internals भी होंगे. So this is something, these are trainings worth a period of a week, but we still give you a month's time to complete these trainings, okay? Once that is done and your exams are over, you join the company, and then there is 2 days of corporate induction. So this is basically giving you the understanding about the company, seamless progression from student life to corporate life. I'm sure a lot of you don't know how the corporate world functions, right? So what are your benefits, what are the medical insurance you get, who is the HR in the organization, who to reach out to in terms of queries. So this is what you get during the corporate induction 2-day training. Then you have your project readiness program. So this is the meaty training bit. This is for a duration of 6 to 8 weeks. This is where you get complete knowledge about end-to-end, say, programming languages or trainings that will help you take up projects at a later stage, right? So this 6 to 8 is core training, and after the 6 to 8 weeks, you get your projects, right? So we don't wait for you to complete your MTech. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको MTech complete करना है, उसके बाद ही आपको projects मिलेंगे. 6 to 8 weeks में, once your training is done, you will be given client projects, right? So that's how quick the progression is going to be in the organization. Once that is done, we introduce you to your business units. So not everyone is going to be in the same business unit, right? Some of you may be in some business unit, the other might be in some other business unit. So this business unit induction is basically to give you an understanding about which business unit you are a part of, who heads that business unit, what are the clients that are a part of that business unit. Just like आपके जैसे departments का एक introduction होता है, like someone is in software engineering, someone is in CS, someone whatever, right? Whatever induction that you have of your department. Similarly, this is an induction very similar to that. And then of course, you take the path to continuous learning. You can continue to keep learning in the organization. Alright, very important slide. This is the slide that talks about your benefits. I think a lot of you will be interested in this particular slide. So, the program is such that your MTech will be for 4 years, right? And for the 4 years when you're doing your MTech, but you're also working side by side, right? So you'll be eligible for a monthly stipend. The first year, your monthly stipend will be 15,488. Second year, 17,533. Third year and fourth year, as it is mentioned. So every year, there's a gradual increase in your stipend, right? At the same time, when you join, the first year of your joining, you also get your joining bonus, which is for an amount of 75,000. So with your first month's stipend, your joining bonus gets credited to you, right? So this is your joining bonus that you will get at the time of joining. Now the MTech course is for 4 years, but the service agreement is for 60 months, which is 5 years. And I'll come to this, why the service agreement is for 5 years and why the MTech is for 4 years. But on top of this, you also get other benefits. So just because you're scholar trainees does not mean that you will not be eligible for other regular benefits that employees get. So you will be eligible for a group personal accident cover of 12 lakh per annum, a group life insurance policy of 14 lakh per annum, a medical insurance policy. So the base medical insurance policy is covered by the companies. That means that you don't have to pay a premium for that medical insurance, and that's for 2 lakhs. But if you want to go for a top-up plan, that is, you want to include your parents or your siblings in that medical insurance, you can go for a top-up plan also. Those top-up plans are available as high as 10 lakhs also, but you have to pay a certain premium amount out of your pocket. But if you go with the base, then that is covered by the company. And of course, a fully sponsored MTech program by Wipro, right? So those are your benefits in terms of compensation bit and other benefits. You'll also be eligible for paid leaves just like any other employee. So all those aspects will also be there with this kind of job employment. But there is a small note here for those of you who for some reason plan on leaving the program midway, right? You will be liable to pay back the organization the joining bonus. So that joining bonus is 75,000. You will have to pay back to the organization on a pro rata basis. तो प्रो रेटा क्या होता है, जैसे आपने 2 साल काम कर लिया तो आप पूरा 75,000 नहीं दोगे कंपनी को. We'll do a calculation and only a certain amount. Similarly, someone who's worked for 4 years and only 1 year agreement is left, तो और कम अमाउंट देना पड़ेगा आपको. पर अगर आप फर्स्ट ईयर में ही छोड़ जाते हो और आपका पूरा 5 years of agreement रहता है, तो then you have to pay the entire joining bonus. So you get the concept of pro rata, right? Okay. Alright, so now what happens to you once you complete your MTech? Of course, now you're upskilled, you have a master's degree from BITS Pilani. So what we do is that your designation in the organization gets revised to senior project engineer. You start off as a scholar trainee, but now once you complete your MTech, your designation will get revised to senior project engineer. When we go to engineering colleges and we hire BTech grads, we hire them as project engineers. But you will be more qualified than engineers, you will have MTechs. So your designation is going to be senior project engineer. Your base compensation is going to be 5 lakh per annum. So when I say base, this means this is the lowest, this is the minimum that you will get. On top of that, you will also be eligible for performance linked bonus, okay? So for the first 4 years while you're working, that means you've given some performance in the company. So how you perform in these first 4 years, that performance linked bonus will get added to your compensation once you complete your MTech. तो हम ये नहीं बोलते कि 4 साल क्योंकि आप स्कॉलर ट्रेनी हो तो आप से हम काम कराते रहेंगे पर आपको रिवॉर्ड नहीं देंगे फॉर द परफॉर्मेंस. तो जब आप अपना MTech कंप्लीट करते हो तो ये जो आपका बेस कॉम्पेंसेशन है 5 lakhs, उसमें हम आपके वो फर्स्ट 4 years का जो भी परफॉर्मेंस रहेगा उसका परफॉर्मेंस बोनस आपको देंगे. And if I have to give you a picture of how much people are earning right now, so top performers who just completed their MTech, they are earning around 8.5. So there is a 3.5 lakh of performance bonus which gets added to this 5 lakh. So your compensation can be as high as 8.5 lakh if you're a good performer in the first 4 years of your employment with us, right? Now, coming to some questions, okay? A lot of students, I talk to a lot of students and they say that, ma'am, why is this MTech course for 4 years? How much is the MTech course for if someone is to do an MTech from outside? 2 years, right? So you will say, why is it 4 years for me when the MTech course is for 2 years? Very simple. You're not students anymore. You'll be working professionals, right? And you'll be working Monday to Friday. It's only over the weekends, alternate weekends, that you will do your class. So in order to ensure that you are at par with any other MTech graduate, right? आपकी classes को हमने ऐसे modify किया कि वो सिर्फ weekend पे होगा. तो Monday to Friday जो आप नहीं पढ़ रहे होगे, उसको उसके duration को हम compensate करने के लिए we've molded the time frame in such a way with BITS Pilani that the course is for 4 years. Another thing, who conventionally does an MTech course? BTech graduates, right? People who do their BTech, then they go on to do their MTech in afterwards as masters. But we are giving you, that is BCA and BSc students, an opportunity to do an MTech. What is the duration of your graduation? What is the duration of BTech? So they have, very obviously, they have more technology exposure than you, right? Do you think by the end of 3 years, some of you might be, if you've done some extra courses, extra certifications, you might be at par with a BTech graduate in terms of technology exposure. But most of you might not be, right? Because their technology exposure is a lot more. They study a lot more in terms of technology in 4 years as compared to a graduate who BSc or a BCA graduate, right? You will also have, but not as much as a BTech. So we've tried to make sure that when you enter the MTech course, the duration is in such a way that you'll be at par with any other MTech graduate who has done even a BTech in his or her graduation. So that's the logic for 4 years of MTech. Do you understand and do you agree now? Alright. Now the next question is, okay, fine, I get it. I get why this is for 4 years, but why is the service agreement for 5 years? Yeah? Service agreement should be for 4 years. Why is it not for 4 years? Why is it for 5 years? Very simple. When do you guys graduate? Next year, June, July 2023? Yeah? By the time you join the organization, it will be, say, September 2023, June, anywhere between June to September 2023. When does the academic year start for most colleges? April. So your academic year in BITS Pilani, your MTech academic year in BITS Pilani will only start in April 2024, right? Getting my point? So there's going to be a lag of, say, 6-7 months wherein you'll be training, you'll already start doing your projects, but your MTech will not start. It will start only in April 2024. So that's the reason why we've accommodated for that lag and we have this service agreement for 5 years. Does it make sense? Alright. Few more questions that I get from students, okay? And they say that it's true, it sounds too good to be true. मतलब आप बोल रहे हो कि आप मुझे employment भी दोगे, उसमें you're giving me a monthly stipend. Then you're saying that you will also sponsor my MTech from BITS Pilani. Then you're also saying that once you complete your MTech, we will give you so much of performance-based bonus. But is it actually so true? So my answer to you is that we've had 40,000 people do this program, right? And we've tried this model, we've tested this model, and we are pioneers in the industry to run this model, okay? No other company till a very, very long time had a model like this. It's only very recently, I know Mindtree, I know Hexaware, unka bhi ab aisa working and learning integrated model hai. But Wipro was the first company to start this with. Secondly, people ask me, is the degree valid? So my answer to this is that when you get the degree from BITS Pilani, it's going to be the same degree that any other MTech graduate gets from BITS Pilani. So there is no differentiation in the degree that you get. Then people ask me that, okay, I get it that Wipro is sponsoring this degree. Obviously, this degree is going to be recognized in Wipro. But what about, if I wish to change companies, say 4-5 years from now? Will the other company accept or recognize this degree? So my answer to that is absolutely. Since BITS Pilani is an institute of eminence, this degree is going to be recognized not just by any other company in India, but even if 7-8 years down the line you plan to move abroad or go overseas, take up some other opportunities, this degree is going to be recognized by government bodies of all countries, right? So that's the guarantee that we give to you when you join this particular program. So what we've done is that we have collated some testimonials. I can come here, I hire for this program, I know everything about this program. मैं आके आपको बहुत ज्ञान दे सकती हूँ इस program के बारे में. But you will relate more to people who've done this program, right? So we've tried to collate some testimonials of them. These are people who just completed their MTech and are already leading teams in the company. So this is what they have to say. Is it legible at the back? Can you guys read? No? Alright, no problem. I also have a video to show, maybe that will be better. Alright, so this again is a very important slide. This talks about your eligibility, and I want everyone to take a note of this because this is what impacts you all. So what is the eligibility? All of you should have completed your 10th and 12th, right? When it comes to BCA and BSc, these are the courses, these are the streams that are eligible. So BCA all streams, BSc, computer science, information technology, maths, stats, electronics, physics. So these are the streams which are eligible to apply. No part-time or correspondence during your graduation. So I'm guessing all of them are regular college students, so that's not a problem for you. However, if you've done distance learning or open schooling in 10th and 12th, that is okay, that is fine, you can still apply. The year of passing should be 2023, or if you have some seniors from the 2022 batch who are still looking out for jobs, they can also apply. There is a percentage criteria of 60% or 6 CGPA in your graduation. Alright, so for those of you who had maybe 1 or 2 semesters not so good, you still have 2 semesters. We take an average of 60%. So make up for that in the next 2 semesters if you're not at a 60% as of now. There is no percentage criteria in your 10th and 12th. Okay, so just a pass certificate is okay in your 10th and 12th.
We have BSc, ESC, Software Engineering course.
Yeah, that's eligible.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's eligible.
So BSc Software Engineering is also eligible. Don't worry. That's eligible. Alright, okay. So they've applied in the past also, no? Seniors. Yeah. No, that's also eligible. That's eligible. Alright, so we allow only 1 backlog. So if you have 1 backlog, you are eligible to apply. But the caveat here is that before you join the company, you have to clear that backlog. Otherwise, your joining will get delayed. So you can register with 1 backlog, you can give the test, you can give the interview, you can clear the interview, you can get the offer letter. But to join, you'll have to clear that backlog, right? We also allow gaps in education. So for some reason, if you've had gaps in education, say between 10th and 12th or 12th and graduation, we allow that. But no gap in education between your graduation. So 2023 batch, you should have started your graduation in 2020. I hope that's the case here. Yeah? Alright, so this is it from my side. I have a video to play. I'm not very sure if the audio is connected. Will the audio work? No problem. So we'll try and fix the audio. But till then, any questions that you guys have? Don't be shy. Please don't be shy. I've spoken for 1 hour, so I'm pretty sure there'll be some questions. So you can be as candid, don't worry. No question is going to be a stupid question. Your question might actually be someone else's question also. So let's benefit each other. तो कोई भी क्वेश्चन है आपको अबाउट द प्रोसेस, अबाउट द कंपनी कल्चर, द hiring process per se, anything, please ask me. I'm traveling only to 10 colleges in every region. Okay, so we hire from thousands of colleges, but we are only going to top 10 colleges. And the fact that I'm here, I want to make the most of it, and you should make the most of it, because so many people from other colleges are not getting this opportunity. So don't be shy, ask questions if you have. You can raise your hands if you have any questions.
Yes, feel free to talk. We will hand over the mic as well. Please.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. What's your name?
So, my name is Ayush, and my question is, what is the syllabus for MTech?
What is the?
What will be the syllabus for MTech? Let's say, let's assume that maybe I clear the exam
Yeah.
and the interview. So, what will be the syllabus for MTech?
So we have MTech in different specializations. Alright. So just like people do their MTech, BTech, and they choose a specialization. Similarly, the MTech will also have your specializations. So the syllabus will depend on the specialization that you take up. If it's IT or say software or infrastructure management, MTech in infrastructure management, the syllabus will depend on that. Yeah. So that's going to be dependent on what specialization you are allocated during your MTech. Okay. Anyone else?
Hello ma'am,
Hi, what's your name?
myself Abhishek Balashinde. Ma'am, I want to discuss that package which you are offering to us is too low as per the other companies, ma'am.
Okay.
So
No, that's okay, that's fine. I'm happy he's being honest. Okay.
so ma'am, I want to
Okay,
just
now that you pointed that out, let's compare. Okay, which other companies are we talking about?
ma'am, I am not comparing with other.
No, I'll give you a logic as to why the compensation structure is at this point.
Ma'am, the starting package of Capgemini is 6 lakhs.
Okay, and is Capgemini offering you an MTech from Bixpilani?
No ma'am.
Alright, okay,
But
and
ma'am, I am just want to say that the package will be declared
Yes.
on our skills,
Right.
not as per the background of our educations.
correct. So that's the reason. Yes, go ahead. Tell me.
If we know the full stack development, so we have to the package about the 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs as per the industry's demands.
Right.
As you know, now you are the HR.
Correct.
So the full stack developer package is near about 10 lakhs. So we know the full stack skills, but we are getting so 3 lakhs package, so it's not
So
good
you
for
feel you're underpaid. Alright, okay, fair enough. So I'm not, I know that our compensation is not a market leader, and I do understand that there will be certain companies who do offer a higher compensation. But that also depends on multiple factors. So I know for a fact that most of our competitors, at least in IT firms, when it comes to top IT players in the market, I'm not talking about startups, and I'm not talking about companies which are not into IT. Startups and other companies, product-based companies, might have a lot of capacity to offer, but obviously then there are other aspects that you have to consider. But when I talk about competitors, our core competitors, I know for a fact that we might not be a very big market leader when it comes to compensation with respect to this program, and that's only because we have we believe that the compensation here is not just limited to core money compensation here, but we are also sponsoring our MTech, and that's the reason why I say that this option is only suitable for people who are very passionate about doing their higher studies, right? And that too, very passionate about doing higher studies from a renowned institute, right? So, like I said, our package, which I say is not just the compensation bit of it, but also the higher education that we are sponsoring from BITS Pilani. And I know for a fact that people who do their MTech from BITS Pilani, the weightage that their degree holds. Another thing is that most companies, while they might start at a grade package, if you're talking about Capgemini, I'm not sure. I know Infosys, TCS, there's not a lot of differentiation in terms of package. Their package might be, say, maybe 50,000 more annually, but then they're not giving you the opportunity to pursue your compensation, your higher education. I'm not sure about Capgemini. I'm also not very sure about what is the role that they give. And I'm also not very sure of how many students they pick up. So I'm not sure about all those aspects. But what I can say is that we've never targeted students with the viewpoint of only compensation here. Like I said, in '95 we started this program only to capture the needs of students who wanted to do both the things, and they could not afford maybe doing a higher education, and that's why we came up with this concept and program. So what I'm trying to really say is that if compensation is a very important factor for you at the very start of your career, and you're okay to not do your masters right away, then you should actually go for other opportunities. And I'm being honest, I'm not going to sell my company. No, that's not how we function at Wipro. So what I'm saying is, if at this point in time, compensation is something which is extremely important for you, but you think upskilling yourself or maybe doing a master's can wait, then I think you should take up other opportunities. But this is an opportunity for people who want to do both the things, right? And who think that sponsoring an MTech or sponsoring a higher education might not be possible for them by themselves. So this is an opportunity for them. We understand. So what we've done is that we've tried to make it very competitive in terms of compensation post you complete your MTech. Like I said, top performers post their MTech are earning 8.5, right? And then the career progression is also much, much higher. So they will be senior project engineers in the organization. So their designation also revises. So that's it that I have in terms of compensation rate. But like I said, you have to decide for yourself if this opportunity is cut for you or not, right?
And then after 1 year,
Yeah.
the package will still sponsors or it will be increase our performance too.
So the performance linked bonus is only post you. So the performance linked bonus gets credited to you only after your MTech, not in the first 4 years. So what you perform in the 4 years, that benefit you will get after you complete your MTech. Okay, there will be some increase in stipend, but not a lot of increase in stipend. That was already discussed there. But yes, in the first year you will also be eligible for a joining bonus. So 75,000 joining bonus is also there in the first year. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else?
Hi ma'am.
Hi, what's your
Good
name?
afternoon ma'am.
Good afternoon, what's your name?
My name is Polkar Dattatre Ranga. My question is 3-year graduation degree, one year gap allow ma'am?
Is the gap in your graduation?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, so I'll discuss with you separately. We don't allow gaps in education, but if there is some genuine reason for that gap,
Medical reason no.
we can take that up separately. So you register right now, we will take that up separately. If it's a medical reason and you have ample proofs to substantiate.
Thank you ma'am.
Alright. Anyone else?
I think there won't be any questions. No questions? If you have any question, please feel free to talk. Want to ask some questions? Okay. Please.
Alright, so I think that's about it. I don't see more questions coming in, but if you have any questions, please feel free. Video can be played? Alright, perfect.
Wipro launched a work integrated learning program devoted to nurturing and developing young talent. This novel initiative enables graduates to gain industry exposure and real-time practical experience working on live projects. The program helps graduates to learn their technical skills in the ever-evolving world of information technology. More than 35,000 trainees have successfully completed the program and hold senior positions within Wipro. Wipro takes immense pride in introducing students who learn multiple paths. Being part of the work integrated learning program at Wipro, students are enrolled for their master's program with Royal Institute of Technology and Science and Institute of Eminence. Students work on weekends. They enjoy collaborating and learning in their batch mates during the weekend classes and sessions. The student part of this program is agile and multi-skilled in various technology domains. This is a unique program which allows you to work while you work. So this is a 4-year degree program, and you will get a degree out of one of the best institutes in India from the Royal Institute of Technology and Science. I'm thankful to Wipro who gave me an opportunity to get trained in various domains, various technical areas, and moreover, various skills as well.
It was a great learning experience learning work with the same campus. For sure, the faculty are very supportive.
So these are all people who've done the WILP program and are still with Wipro at higher positions in the organization.
I also had been fortunate enough to work with some great leaders and mentors and friends all over, and they're not only motivated and encouraged me, but also supported me to achieve new goals in life. And if you're watching this video, which means that you already enrolled for the WASTE program, and if you have the right attitude, sky's the limit. All the very best.
Wipro is proud of the contributions made by these students to the success of the organization and recognizes their achievements, accolades earned from customers, Wipro leaders, and outstanding performance in academics.
Alright, thank you for being so enthusiastic. Alright, okay, so I hope this gave you a little perspective about, people who've done this particular program, and these are people who are at very high positions in the company now. As you may have noticed, if you saw their designations and the offices that they sit from. So they're no more in India, they're in our overseas offices. So that's how the program has benefited a lot of people. But I just wanted to focus on one more aspect here, that is the hiring process after this. Now the registration part is open, and we're going to run this like a sprint. So you know what a sprint is? Very fast, right? Marathons are slow, long distance, but slow. You can run slow. But sprints are smaller distance, and you have to run very fast. So we're going to run the next steps like a sprint now. By the registration window is already open. We've not decided the end date for registration. So my advice here is don't wait for us to declare the end date. If you are interested in this opportunity, please go and register today. Once you complete your registration process, we'll have an online assessment. And the online assessment is likely to get over for all students by mid of October, end of October. Okay? Those of you who clear the online assessment, you will have your interview round, which is called business discussion round, and most of you will be in a position to complete your business discussion by mid-November. So what I'm trying to really say is that by mid-November or end of November, those of you who clear the process, you'll have offer letters in your hand. So you have 2 months, and within 2 months, you'll have an offer in your hand. So now talking about the assessment stage, because that's the next stage. How is the assessment pattern? So the assessment is going to be of 80 minutes. Okay, 80 minutes is the duration of the assessment, and this assessment is divided into 2 halves. So the first half will have 3 sections, and the first half will be of 60 minutes, 60 questions, okay? So the three sections of the first half, one is going to test you on your mathematical abilities, quantitative abilities. Second is going to test you on your logical reasoning, and third is going to be testing on your verbal ability. So all of these three sections will be of 20 minutes, 20 questions and 20 marks, okay? So this makes the first half of 60 minutes, 60 questions and 60 marks, right? Now the second half. The second half will test you on your written communication skills. So we'll give you a paragraph, or we'll ask you to write an email, or we'll ask you to write a letter, right? And that is going to be for 20 marks and 20 minutes. So in total, combining both the halves, the assessment is going to be of 80 minutes and 80 marks, alright? No negative marking, and this is going to be an online assessment. So you can take this assessment from wherever you are, as long as you have a desktop or a laptop, okay? So this is number one. So those candidates who clear the assessment part, you are going to go to the next round, which is the interview round. So now we don't have two separate rounds of interview like other companies, because our idea is to not really check you on your technical knowledge. So your interview part will not be technical, it will be a business discussion. So we might check you on few technical aspects, but more so it's going to be checking you on your cultural fitment. So your HR aspects, whether or not you're a good fit for the organization. So that's going to be for 15 minutes. And those of you who clear the interview process will be given offer letters by Wipro, right? So this is the way that the pattern for the hiring process is going to look like. Before your test, we will also share maybe a week in advance a sample paper of the test, okay? So you can go through the sample paper just to get like an understanding of all the sections that I mentioned, what are the kinds of questions that come in those sections, and you can prepare accordingly. But when it comes to testing you on your core technical skills, say programming languages, computer-based languages, I don't think we'll be testing you a lot on that, so you don't have to worry about that. Why? Because this opportunity is open to people from different backgrounds, right? So we want this to be a level playing program, and we will be testing you on your abilities basis the test, the assessment test only, right? So any questions here about the pattern? Any other questions that need to be addressed? Alright, so I think we're connected with Sir, and you can, if you have any questions at a later stage that were not answered here today or that come up at a later stage, please feel free to reach out to Sir and we'll be in touch with Sir. Yeah? Alright. Thank you everyone. It was a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for giving me a patient.
Thank you very much, Ananya, for giving detailed guidance on Wipro WILP in your pre-placement talk.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks you all. You all got this opportunity because of our chairman, Honorable Dr. Patil sir, our principal Dr. Zulpe sir, training and placement officer Mr. Kailas Jadhav sir, and our training and placement department. I thanks you all who listens patiently for this or to this pre-placement talk, and on behalf of our principal sir, I declare this pre-placement talk over. Thank you one and all.